Illy, Lily, Illy, my Lily. Follow Shamanic Awakening. If you don't already, I wonder if I can shout out. I think they have to be in the chat. I don't remember how it works. But anyway, I was just watching Shamanic. Give follow. I think I spelled that right. I don't know that tagging people does anything in the chat if they're not here. I don't know for sure. But anyway, I was gonna stream a little bit ago, but I got caught up in his stream. I was watching for a little bit. So I am starting late, so I can't stay. I said, oh, come around 8:30 maybe. No, that didn't happen. I relaxed. I had a good time. Also, it seems like Twitch over here isn't responding to my stream. So I refresh the page. See, yes, we're back on. Okay. So first things first, I'm gonna roll the ads and we'll be right back. lighting's not great because I'm sitting next to the lamp, but it is what it is. I don't really care. Yeah, so I was watching Shamanic's stream before I came on, so I'm a little later than anticipated. And it's actually water, not lemonade, but we were doing some Oracle stuff. He does like a card pull from a choice of Oracle decks, and I said I want the Egyptian one because it had the Ira on it. And he said it was the Symbols deck. So the first card I got was a butterfly. And I was like, wow, perfect. I ordered a pair of glasses today and I got a butterfly on the side. And the thing is, I was debating between a butterfly, an eyeball, an alien, a yin yang, and a Taurus symbol, which are like 5 symbols that very much represent me, right? And me and my coworker decided the butterfly suited the glasses the best, especially because I got it in pink. It's actually a reorder of a pair of glasses that I ordered and they broke, which is very upsetting. Very upsetting. And if I would have paid $5 for insurance, I could have got a new pair for free, but instead I had to pay the full price for the glasses. It's fine. I ordered another pair when I ordered them that were significantly cheaper, about half the price. So whatever. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully I do something with those glasses. Maybe I'll make one of those crystal chain glasses. I don't know if that's like copyrighted. It's not like I'm gonna sell it, so it doesn't matter if it's copyrighted. That would actually be cool. I think I'll do that because just the armband is broken. The lenses and stuff are totally fine. Anyway, second card I got was Shadows. Facing the Shadow. And we had like a nice little conversation about shadows. And I said, oh, I do shadow readings with my Halloween Oracle deck. Phew. So I thought that's what I'll do tonight is a shadow reading. I also did try to move the table and it's very heavy and I got nervous because it's glass and there's stuff on it. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to leave it. We're just going to read cards on my lap this week. It's fine. It's fine. I got the incense lit. That's probably why I was sneezing. But yeah, we're going to do a little shadow read. What are you doing? You want to come say hi? Come here. Come say hi. You shy? You shy? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. I have a stack of cards. Don't need to keep shuffling. Where are you going? Oh, you come and say hi? Say hi, Choo Choo. Say hi, Choo Choo. Choo Choo, baby. Hi. You want to hold hands? You okay? What's up? You'll get your cup, I promise. What's up? What's going on? You okay? You good? You alright? Choo choo. It's a baby. It's a baby. It's a little baby. Just a baby. Yes, a baby, sir. It's just a baby. Okay. May I continue? Oh, is this reading for you? This reading is for you? Okay. You got it, dude. You got it. Thank you. Don't stay there. I just wanted to. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna stop shuffling and I'm gonna stop talking to the dog and we're gonna get into this reading. At the bottom of the deck we have Owl. Wise seeing, wise action. So, splitting the deck as well. I think it's time to analyze some of your relationships. Who are you spending time with? And are they elevating you in some way? Now, that's not to say that you need to get something out of every relationship that you have, because that's not the case. But you should align with the people that you surround yourself with. If you spend time with people and you think, wow, I don't want to be like them, I'm glad I'm not doing that, I'm in such a better place, da 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 da, then you're not spending time with the right people. But if you're constantly inspired and you strive to be more like them, then you know you are surrounded by the people you're meant to be with. So, wise seeing, wise action. We have the lamp, remembrance. So somebody's coming through from the other side wanting your attention. And it's time you honor that. So if you have someone you can visit at the cemetery or the mausoleum, if you want to build a shrine, shit. Okay, that switches things up. If you want to build a shrine to them, you can. If you want to just do something simple like light a candle, you can go to church and light a candle, or you can just light your own, let it burn. I like to recommend that you sit at least 5 feet from the candle, take off your glasses, take out your contacts if that applies to you, and stare at the candle and just kind of meditate the best you can, see what comes through. You might feel like you make contact, you might just pray over them, think about them. Yeah, watch the flame dance. When I dropped the cards, this revealed itself. Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. You can do anything. That's a fact. You can do anything. Are you going to do anything? Not necessarily. You're going to do what you want to do. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to do what you think you should do, for sure. But you can do anything. So try not to have self-limiting beliefs, as I feel you probably do. We do have forgiveness, reducing burden. And I feel like the person that is calling out to you may have died with you on bad terms. And that is sort of why you've been ignoring it and they've been trying to get a hold of you, is because they want your forgiveness so that they can move on or just be at peace, watch over you comfortably. So it's time that you did make peace with them in whatever ways you can. Try to accept who they were in this life and know that they have changed a lot since they've passed. Everyone does. You really go through something. It's a transition. When you go through death, it's a transition. So just remember that because they've transitioned, they've essentially changed, and they're not the same person that they used to be. And it's funny because it was paired with the death card, and I didn't mention it, but it's like literally death. Death is the ultimate forgiveness. Now that you're gone, I can forgive what you did when you're here because you're no longer here to do it. Dawn, the light after the darkness. So you will come to a better place the more you accept this person's role in your life as the adversary, the antagonist, just because that's the way it is, you know. We have winter, the sacredness of pausing on its side. So now is not a good time to stop what you're doing. Whether you want to break, want to rest, want a vacation, now is not a good time for it. You need to keep going, unfortunately. And it might even be a good time to start something new. If you are contemplating on starting something, you can. It will bring you a lot of happiness with joy, rejoicing in the present. Yeah. Skull of light, illumination. What's done in the dark will come to light. Remember that. There is no hiding. You can't hide forever. It's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna come back to you. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. So you can take a pause, take a breather, do things throughout the day to help you relax and maintain, but do not stop. You must keep going. We have ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA. So emphasis on people who have passed. Your ancestors are here to support you. These are not the people you're angry at. This is not the person that you need to forgive. These are the people that you do not know, the people you've long since forgotten, right? We have apple, risk and reward. So you never know how it tastes until you take a bite. It may be a risk, but it's a risk that will most likely pay off. So go for it. That's why you can't stop now, right? You can take a break. You can take a pause, but you can't take a break. You can sit with it. You take a day off, you can't take a week off. You know what I'm saying? You can have an hour of peace, but you can't have a day of, well, I don't know, I just said you can take a day off, but you get what I'm saying. Mummy, change. This is why it's so important that you don't give up in this moment, because things are about to change, and most likely for the better. Like, you'll finally get that success that you've been looking for in what you do. This is the time where things start to make sense. They start to even out. They start to become what they need to be. And then we have some face down cards. Midnight, the most magical hour of all. Something's going on at midnight. You may be asleep by then and be having a dream, recurring dream at midnight. You might be up and thinking about someone, At that time, you might be, doing something, reading a book, scrolling, whatever you're doing, take note of midnight. If you fall asleep at 11 o'clock, think about your dreams the next day. If you're still awake, set a timer, or I should say an alarm for midnight, assuming you're awake. I don't want to wake you up in the middle of the night. That's not the point. If you're already asleep, just think of it as dream interpretation. But if you are awake, set an alarm for midnight so that you know exactly what you're doing at that time. This is going to be really important for you to recognize. Whatever it is, it needs to be addressed. If you're up thinking about someone, it's probably someone you shouldn't be thinking about. If you're doing nothing but scrolling on your phone, you should probably put it down. If you are watching a movie, then you need to question like what type of movies you're watching before bed, etc., etc. Invisibility, authenticity. You are not feeling like yourself lately. No doubt, you are not feeling like yourself. And that is not okay. You've got to figure out a way to get back to you. That's something I've been working on every day. And honestly, I highly recommend the Finch app. That shit will help you stay on track. I don't get everything done on my list every day, but it's fun to try. And it gives you a sense of wellness, I guess. It's just fun. It's fun. But I add things on there to try to get me to feel like myself again. Because at first it's like, clean something, go for a walk, and I guess everybody's coming home right now. It was all the practical things that I've been missing. Drink a certain amount of water, but I decided to add things like sing and draw and dance on there so that I made sure that I was doing those things every day to try to get me back to who I was because I've been feeling so distant from who that person is. So just my little tip, but you got to do something to get back to yourself. We have vampire, emotional intelligence. It's time to be a little more discerning. If you feel drained every time you talk to someone, you should probably stop talking to them straight up. There's no excuses. They may not know what they're doing, but a lot of times they do know what they're doing and they just get off on it. Like, sorry to say, you're getting played. Like, no relationship that is of value to you is worth your sanity. So if you're questioning someone, then by all means, you need to do something about it. You can address it if you want to, but how rude does that sound? Like, hey, you're really draining to me. Not nice. Sometimes it's better to distance yourself. Zombie control. I mentioned in the midnight thing scrolling. I'm on my phone too much. It's something that started basically this year. And I'm like, why did this start? Maybe end of last year, probably. It was the end of last year it started. I'm guessing it was winter that did me in. And now I'm having a hard time breaking away from it. And I don't know why, other than it's like designed to be addictive or whatever. And I don't create as much. And I know that if I was still creating in the same capacity that I once was, I wouldn't have this problem. But I don't really quite have that spark in me. But as I once said, and I wrote this down, I said, the fountain of creativity never dries up, you simply stop drinking from it. Hey. So that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes you have to just force yourself. And something I've realized is like no art is bad art because I don't know, sometimes I see stuff and it's like anybody could have made that. That's really nothing. It's just scribbles. It's just a sketch. It's just this and that. It doesn't have to be hyper realism to be good. People will like it anyway. I painted a picture the other night and I didn't think much of it. I thought it actually looked like a 4-year-old did it. Okay, maybe a 10-year-old. There's just mountains, you know. And a friend of mine said, I want to see. And I sent it to him. He said, wow, that's so good. And I'm like, it's not. He said, yeah, it is. Color me impressed. And it was just really reassuring because it's like, you're right. Art doesn't have to be good to be liked. It doesn't. And so making the bad art when you don't feel like it, when you don't know what to do, go to your fallbacks. I draw mushrooms if I don't know what else to do. I painted mountains because it reminded me of my artist friend who passed away. And to someone, it's going to be a lot better than what they can do, and so they're going to think it's good. And that's not the point of art, for sure. That's not the point. But I know that because we can be our own worst critics, sometimes it's nice to have that validation. Absolutely. Perspective, not perfection. Absolutely. And trick or treat, mischief and play. You gotta have fun with it. That's the other thing about art, is that it's supposed to be fun. You know, some people work on paintings for decades and painstaking, and it takes all the joy out of it, but just do it to have fun. Do things to have fun. Like I said, my list is like dancing and singing. That's not constructive. I'm not making music. I'm not doing a performance. I'm just doing those things for fun, to feel like I'm having fun and doing the things that I love once again, because I stopped doing the things that I love. So it's really about the playfulness of it all and not necessarily the production. And last we have ghost regret. Yeah, we're having some regrets. We're like, damn, we don't even know how long things are gonna last the way they are at this point. And you know, we don't want to regret the things we didn't do when we had the chance to do them, because you don't know what's gonna happen. I was at the grocery store last night. The person I was with noticed, you know, we both noticed the shelves were looking really empty. And they said they probably stocked tonight. And I thought, this could be it at any moment, where we just don't have all these options that we once had. We don't have the luxury of having this food delivered to us every night, every week. You know, it's like we live in the same world with totally different perspectives. And I don't want the doom and gloom perspective, don't get me wrong. They probably stocked that night and the shelves probably looked fine. But part of me was like, damn, it could just be like that, where we don't have all the options we once had, and the stores don't carry everything they once did. It's a possibility because you just don't know what's going to happen. Werewolf, exploring wildness. That goes really well with playfulness. Even though I've it a few times tonight, it's a significantly less than last night. Getting better at that. So, when I was in high school, me and my best friend at the time, we're still friends, we're just not as close, you know. We love Lou Reed. We went and saw Lou Reed at Lollapalooza when I was like 17 years old. And I'm so glad he played at the same time as Snoop Dogg. So like, we were like, okay, we'll catch a little bit of Snoop and then we'll go see Lou Reed. Snoop started late. He's fucking around. The music starts playing. He's still not on stage. He comes out and he's like, woo, you know, I'm like, okay, what up, Chicago, whatever. And our friend is like, where are you guys? And we kind of walk away from the stage looking for her, and I hear the opening riff of Sweet Jane. And I'm like, I'm done. We're not doing Snoop. I don't give a fuck about Snoop. I don't. We're going to Lou Reed right now. And we met up at Lou Reed, and there was like no one there because he played at the same time as Snoop, and everyone was at Snoop. So not only did we show up during Sweet Jane, the three of us were together. We got very close to the front, like very close to the front. And it was legendary. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'd been listening to the Velvet Underground for probably only 3 years at that point. That was something I started listening to in high school, but never did I imagine that I'd be seeing Lou Reed, even as a 17-year-old. Like, I just never thought I'd see Lou Reed. And he did great. He sat down the whole time. I don't care. He's old. And he played, I don't even remember what he played. I'm Waiting for the Man, White Light. I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago. All I remember is Sweet Jane because it was the first thing that I heard. And he probably played a lot of his solo music, which I'm not as familiar with, but he did play some Velvet Underground songs. And it was incredible. And I am showing my age, which I'm pretty open about anyway. But I had a flip phone at the time, so my pictures were shit, and I definitely don't have them anymore. If I looked really far back on my Facebook, I might find some pictures of Lou Reed from that day. But yeah, I think I was rolling pretty hard. We rolled pretty much the whole weekend. It's kind of crazy because I feel like kids these days really aren't as in. I'm sure some are, but overall, or at least like the kids I know and what I see on the internet, like kids are not as into drugs and alcohol and getting fucked up like we were. Probably because we didn't have anything else to do and they have phones. They're like, we can make a TikTok. And it's like, yeah, we can make a mess. We can, like, nobody's business. Um, yeah. So we were rolling and it was amazing. And I had so much fun doing it. It was so good. And that's something I've been thinking about a lot too, is I read that book Tripped, which I'm sure I talked about, Norman Ohler. I was reading Blitzed, and it took me like 4 fucking months to read that book because it's not that it was boring, but he broke it up into 3 really long chapters, and that was it. And I like short chapters. I like to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to read a chapter, and then it's short, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to read another chapter, and it's short, and I'll read another one, and I keep going that way. But the context was very dense because it was talking about Nazis doing drugs and Hitler being an addict. So it took me a long time. But the sequel to Blitzed is Tripped, and I read that book in 10 days. It was so good. As soon as I was done with it, I wanted to read it again. It was so fucking good. And it really made me want to drop some L, be honest. I was like, yo, my forefathers. Hell yeah. I wanted it so bad. But then I thought, that's probably a terrible idea. I should not do that. And why can I not access that part of my brain that I already opened up using psychedelics? Why can't I see the world in the way that I would if I was tripping? And it's been a goal to be a little more amazed by things and to stop and really think about what I'm looking at and feeling and get more excited about these things, instead of trying to take drugs to synthetically feel that way. So, yeah. Now I'm reading Frankenstein in Baghdad. Really good. Hard to put down when I start reading it, but I'm not that far in. I guess I'm like a third of the way in. Extraordinary, a devastating but essential read, Kevin Powers. It's really good. They had a Frankenstein display at my library when I took my niece there, and I wasn't planning on getting any books because I'm trying to read my own books right now. So I started Dracula. Got like 3 pages in, dude. It's very dense, very dense. It is kind of interesting though because Dracula is a correspondence between a guy and a vampire. Okay, so I think maybe you were here the night we were talking about Be Here Now and spiritual leaders and stuff, but I think you came late that night, so you may have missed a bulk of the conversation. But we were talking about the holy men in Himalayas, right? And Ram Dass, who was a fucking lawyer and a Harvard professor or whatever. I'm not gonna call him a piece of shit, but there's so much that just makes me angry about that situation. It's like a Gandhi moment. Like, spirituality doesn't absolve you of your sins in the way that you can act like you weren't a bad person, but it's fine. Um, if we can never be absolved, then what's really the point, right? But Ram Dass became obsessed with mushrooms, and he's actually mentioned in the book Tricked. Him and Timothy Leary are mentioned in the book, and um, he brought the mushrooms to the holy men, and or maybe he brought them acid. He may have brought them LSD. Can't remember because I remember the story. He takes one, and you wouldn't just take one mushroom, so he probably brought them LSD, and the holy men took it, and Ram Dass was expecting them to trip the fuck out, and nothing happened. So he gave him another one, and he took it, and he said, nothing happened. Crazy. Totally crazy. Um, he was on such a level that things like that didn't affect him, you know? Crazy. And I want to be better about things. I do. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm just rambling. My laptop is dying, but it's not like critical yet. But it is already after 10:30, so I'm probably gonna go soon. I'm also trying to read this book, the book Hero Booklet. I bought this deck. I think I was talking about this on stream recently, but I bought this deck in 2023, and I was like, yo, I don't know what any of this means because it's not traditional tarot, it's Egyptian. Every card is Egyptian and it has Egyptian words and it comes with a die. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to read this booklet. I'm gonna have to read this booklet. I've started this booklet like, hey, how's it going? Big Cat Village. What up, Mordecai? I started this booklet like 3 times. And I have to keep starting over because I wait so long in between reading it, where I'll read like one chapter and then I put it down for months. And I'm like, I don't remember what the fuck I read. And I'll probably have to read it a few times. Like, it's a very complicated deck, but it's so cool. It's so beautiful. I don't know where the deck itself is right now. I just have the booklet because I had it in my tarot bag. My goal was to read it at work, but a lot of times I'm just talking the whole fucking time I'm at work. So I don't get a ton of reading done. Yeah, so yeah. But anyway, Frankenstein in Baghdad, they had a display at the library. Didn't mean to get distracted by Dracula. They had a display at the library of a bunch of Frankenstein books, which I don't know if they're just like early preparation for spooky season or if it was Mary Shelley's birthday. That's interesting. Yeah, it probably is. Maybe you should read Be Here Now. Might be interesting. I didn't finish it. We got to the yoga. I was reading it out loud on here. Oh, now we're in critical condition. Now we're in battery saver mode. So if the stream stops abruptly, it's because my laptop died. I'm not plugging it in because I have to go soon anyway. Um, yeah, good chance that's who they're talking about. But yeah, Be Here Now. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I like it in a way, but I also find it to be extremely sexist, problematic, and very 1950s coded, even though it was written in the 60s, published in the 70s. It's like, yeah, a white man wrote this. For sure, a white man wrote this. But some of it is very profound and very telling and da 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 da. But, you know, it is what it is. So, Frankenstein of Baghdad, again, I don't know if they were just like, maybe it was Mary Shelley's birthday, I'm not sure. But they had all kinds of Frankenstein books, and I've read Frankenstein, and I loved it. Uh, but I saw this cover was the most interesting to me, and I was like, Frankenstein in Baghdad, what's that about? It's pretty cool. And the book is quite sad because it's like a day in the life in Baghdad where there's explosions and car bombs and American soldiers everywhere. And it's like, damn, dude, like, that's sad. And I think this is from 2016. So it's been like that for so long, since longer than 2016, probably. 2018, copyright 2018. I think it might take place in 2016. Um, it's just very sad how real it is. But it's eye opening at the same time where you're like, God damn it, what are we doing? What are we doing? Seriously. Shit's crazy. I don't want to get too in anything when my laptop is dying and I'm gonna be leaving shortly. But you know, what happens in the Middle East is very sad. God save the Middle East. It's so depressing the way that they just bomb and kill and strike and colonize. It's like, why? You would think that being an evolved society, having technology, having all our needs met, you would think that we would have evolved past like warmongering and this level of hatred, and yet we don't. Continuously, we don't. And it's so sad because it's like nobody deserves to live in fear and go hungry. And it's crazy too, just because, like, even in our own country, me obviously being in the US, you can tell by my accent, uh, being in this country, it's like homeless people everywhere getting evacuated. Shit, like, what are you even doing? What are you doing? It's wild, criminalizing homelessness. And it's like entire populations live homeless at this point, like in Gaza. So this is a pro-Palestinian account. Sorry about it. I'm not sorry, actually. I don't want to get flagged. It is what it is. But it's very sad to watch the world unfold as it is. And to like read something from almost 10 years ago and the situation's not any better. It's just like, wow, y'all have been at this for a long time. Give it up. Give it up. Just leave them alone. Leave them the fuck alone. You know? Fucking crazy. So yeah. If you're just tuning in, thanks for being here. I already did a reading, so if you're waiting for me to do tarot, I guess I could shuffle the deck one more time because I didn't put it away, but I already did a reading. I will be back probably tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. I'll stream. Oh, Thursday night, maybe not. I have plans Thursday night, but if I'm back at a decent time. I work late on Friday, but I have a lot to do because it's my last day here. So I'll try to get back. I'll try to get back early. Um, Joy again, rejoicing in the present. You need to find joy in the things that you do, because again, like you can, if you're so dehumanized that you can't connect or relate to, yeah, for sure. Fuck them too. Like I don't get Saudi Arabia is like, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about it, but it seems like they're just as evil as we are, to say the least. Um, Leave them. That's what I'm saying. Like in the age of technology, where we like literally don't even need oil. We don't even need oil. Like we don't need it. We could have used hemp 100 years ago, and decided, well, oil's more lucrative. Like we don't even need it. And so for that to still be the overarching excuse and the reason behind the mass slaughter and torture and abuse of people is crazy. No, we're definitely wrong. We are definitely wrong. Just because just because you're like, oh, well, if we didn't do it, someone else would do it and they would be bad. And that would be bad. That doesn't mean that you're not also bad. No, we're definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. Um, it's trash. It's trash. Yeah. That's what separates me from the holy men, to say the least. I don't be accepted things that I cannot change. Acceptance is complicity, right? Werewolf, exploring wildness once again. Do something very out of the ordinary. Do something you wouldn't normally do. Even if it's a small thing. Even if it's just like, oh, I'm going to take a different route home from work today. I'm going to go somewhere I haven't been in a while. I'm going to talk to some stranger, if that's what it is. Oh, hey! Our history buff. Haha. Should I? Y'all, you're making me want to stay on stream right now. Um, right. Do not accept the things you cannot change. Change them. Owl, wise sequence, action, and vampire, emotional intelligence. We're getting all the same cards. And like, you can say like, oh, our modern world needs oil, but again, it doesn't. It was made to function on it, and we made that choice, like I said, like 100 years ago. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. You know, I think what people label as terrorism is often just formed to fit a narrative. How do you? What makes you think that flip phones don't also run on lithium batteries, though? No offense. I don't think flip phones are any different. A flip phone from 30 years ago? Sure. Sure. Probably not cobalt lithium. But a flip phone today, I'm pretty sure it would be the same shit. Like, that's just how they make the phones. And I already have one, so I don't think getting rid of it would really make a difference. It's about not getting another one, right? And having the same phone for as long as you can instead of upgrading every 2 years and getting a new one every 2 years and buying the next hottest, latest phone. And, I think about it. I just got this phone like 2 years ago though. And I didn't even know how bad it was. I feel like really truly didn't realize how terrible flip phones were, or I'm sorry, smartphones were for the planet at that point, which is ignorant for sure, but I didn't know how many minerals are in a smartphone. I didn't. Zombie control. Talking about phones. I have two phones, but see, that's the thing. This phone used to belong to someone else. Oops, I don't want to show you that picture. This phone used to belong to someone else. They gave it to me, and I've had it for 3 years. They had it for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you already have it, don't just get rid of it. That's not going to change anything. Just stop buying them, right? Like that's what it really comes down to is don't keep perpetuating the problem. I also have two laptops. Are laptops lithium batteries too? I don't have any tablets though. I just have two laptops. Because like one of my laptops is a basic computer. It's probably not that same kind of battery, but this one is touchscreen, high def. You know, I don't know. Eternal love, love is only love that transcends physical death. Somebody on the other side loves you. Also, hate to bring this up, but it's, I mean, in a way, we have like dependency on cell phones in course of like entertainment addiction. But when you look at the people in Gaza who are literally making content to make money to pay for food, it's like a necessity. Like they have to have a phone in order to make money. Otherwise, they would not eat food. So to think we don't need it actually could be a lie. They might come in very much handy if we're ever in the same situation, which at any given point we could be. Absolutely, we always could be. Um, that's just the reality of the situation. So giving up our smartphones would actually probably be dumb, right? Might be dumb. But again, you don't need to upgrade that shit every time a new phone comes out. Use it till you cannot use it no more. And that helps. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Doing all three of those, right? Just saying. Um, yeah, my laptop is definitely dying though. I'm just gonna let it die. Uh, I should go to bed. I gotta wake up in the morning, get some things done. Um, yeah. But there's a lot of stuff we don't need, and it's not even just about, like, I don't know, chocolate is even made with slave labor, right? And I don't think it's convenience as much as it's ignorance. If we don't see it happening, we don't know. But I haven't bought a Nestle product in years. Ever since that deal they made in Michigan where they're like buying fresh, clean water to sell in bottles and give to people in Flint who have lead water, which I think is finally getting resolved somehow. I just saw that briefly in the news and nobody really talked about it, that the lead crisis in Flint is finally relented 9 years later, whatever. Boycotts work too. They do. As much as people are like, oh, it doesn't do anything. Like, yes, the fuck it does. We have been boycotting McDonald's for their choices, and they put out a $5 meal deal. And while you're like, what does that have to do with anything? That means they were so desperate for customers that they drove their prices down. And what drives prices down? Supply down when demand's down. So we drove demand down so much that they had an not what's the word I'm looking for? Overproduction of their supply. Supply high, demand down. We did it. We lowered the price. That's basic economics, brother. Boycotts do work. They do work. Do you know how many Starbucks locations have gone completely out of business? I don't know the exact number. I just see people being like, hey, the Starbucks by my house closed. It's like, good. Fucking brava. Great. That's amazing. I love to hear it, you know? Boycotts work. Granted, like, something like Coca-Cola is a lot harder to take down. Frito-Lay, you know, Nestle, like I said, they own so much more and have so many more products that half the time you probably don't even realize you're purchasing from them. That's a lot more difficult to have an effect, don't you think? Yeah. Huh. I was just thinking about something, but I think I'm gonna save it for tomorrow because my laptop's dying and I don't want to get into a conversation. We do not need Starbucks. You're so much better off going to a local coffee shop, making coffee at home, not having coffee at all. Um, I had a phase where I lived in LA and there was a local coffee shop that I would go to like every day. But then I got a refillable Starbucks cup and I was able to get a coffee for 99 cents. And that was like the only time in my life that I would regularly go to Starbucks because I couldn't afford to have a $5 coffee every day. But I could afford a 99-cent coffee every day. You know what I mean? So that was the only time that, and then like occasionally over the years I've gotten it, mostly with people or if that was the only option available. But I much prefer Caribou when it comes to like corporate coffee. And I'd much rather go to a local coffee shop. And I make coffee at home. I just didn't have a coffee pot at the time because I was living with someone. And I could have like got a French press, I guess, but I also just wasn't trying to spend time at home at that point. And it was giving me a place to sit and do my work and be on the internet looking for a place to live and all sorts of stuff. And that's the only time that I was actively a Starbucks customer. And all the baristas there were really nice. And there's never any hate against the workers, you know, it's not their fault. So, yeah, keep it up. Don't go. Fuck them. Okay, that was my alarm. That was my go the fuck to bed alarm. Not really, but, you know. I should go because we're gonna have to roll ads in 5 minutes, which means the stream was an hour, so that's cool. Did good. I wasn't intending to be here that long, but yeah, I want to like read before bed, do a few things, so probably should call it a night. Appreciate you guys having this discourse with me. Rewatch if you want to see the reading. Hey, another new account, Dom? What the fuck? I love it though. Dharma Dom. Gotta give your ass a follow. Why do you have another new account? It was created in July. I used to read on stream. It didn't last long though. Because it just was nobody really cared about the books I was reading. But maybe I'll try that again sometime, just reading. Yeah. We didn't even get through one book. Damn, okay. That's annoying. Some people have that as a setting on their streams though, where you have to be verified with a phone. But I thought you only had to do it once, but maybe it's per stream. Fuck isn't real. It's not real. They're colonizing occupiers. Everything they're doing is illegal. They're committing war crimes. Fuck them. No neutrality. Who said that? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I've never had to deal with that. I don't watch a ton of streams though. Just sometimes if my friends are streaming, I'll jump on. But yeah, I'm gonna regret not going if I don't go. And again, the pre-rolls are gonna go off in 2 minutes, and my laptop will probably die while we're on. Yeah, Dharma Dom. That actually suits you really well. I think this is your best one yet. I do. I think it's really good. I feel like I just have had a crick in my neck for so long, and I meant to bring my massage gun, and I fucking forgot it. I'm very upset. Um, cool. So, oh, you know what? Maybe it's because you're on the same IP address. That's a very good point. Like they just caught on that you've made so many accounts that they're like, you need to make sure these are real accounts. Could be that. Just thought. I have my alarm stuck in my head. Okay, we have 1 minute till the pre-rolls go off, so I'm gonna go. Even though this is absolutely riveting, I'm loving the conversation. My buddy Dom just got here. My IRL friend joined the stream for the first time tonight. Mr. Savage over here is like, and I'm like, and we're like, but anyway, I'll be back most likely tomorrow. And then I'll be back again Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe not Thursday, probably not Friday. So, love you all. What do they used to say? Love, peace, and chicken grease? I don't even get that. I don't even get that. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for the new follows. Tune back in around this time the next few days. Love you. Good night and good luck and all that stuff. Or good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Mwah. I love you.